Have you ever considered eating 2 meals per day instead of 3? Well, maybe it's time you did. Today we're going to talk about the power and the efficacy of a 2 meal per day diet rather than the typical 3, and especially it's far superior than the 3 meals per day plus snacks. That is absolutely the worst of all. So let me just give you some of the benefits. First of all, it makes your breakfast easy. And when do we have a more stressed time to eat than in breakfast, especially if you've got a job to get to and you're in a hurry and maybe you've got kids to get ready for school? Just for most of us, breakfast is not leisurely, at least until Saturday. But a cup of bulletproof coffee, which is what I recommend to those that are taking our 22 challenge, is so easy to make, and if you have to, you can drink it while you drive to work. But hopefully you can at least slow down enough to be able to drink it at home and relax a little bit. So it is easy. Secondly, you are extending your fast. Now, some of you say, oh, Dennis, you're not extending your fast because that bulletproof coffee has cream in it, or maybe it's got coconut oil, it's got some calories, it's got some stuff. And that's true. I'm not going to say you're extending a pure fast, but what I am saying is you are extending your carb fast, because typically bulletproof coffee has just fat in it. Heavy cream, coconut oil, maybe olive oil, just things that, butter, of course. So you are not taking in carbs, at least hardly any. So your carb fast is being extended. Hopefully you stopped at around 6 to 7 p.m. the night before from eating any kind of carbs or any kind of meal. You wake up, you have bulletproof coffee, you extend that fast, you're not eating carbs until lunchtime. So that's a good thing. And, it gives you 2 meals per day to have to deal with carbs and instead of 3. And I've never recommended 0 carbs, although I know you can get by with that, and there are no carbs that are absolutely necessary. But I think in general to have some low-carb vegetables is a good thing and a healthy thing. So lunchtime is the time to do that. And another feature that is so powerful and so wonderful about a 2 meal per day menu or diet is the fact that you can take what you normally would be fixing for breakfast and shift it to your lunch or your dinner. So it's less meals to prepare, less meals to even think about, and just say, hey, I've got to make a low-carb meal. What can I choose? Well, bam, just take what you normally would have for breakfast, like low-carb pancakes or bacon and eggs or bacon and sausage or just anything that's fairly low-carb, chia seed pudding, and just shift it, make that your lunch or make that your dinner. So it's so very simple. It's going to help you to keep under your limit of carbs per day. It's a lot easier to do it when you're only eating 2 meals than if you're eating 3. So it has an advantage there. Your glucose levels are going to drop. Your A1C is going to drop. It's going to be very powerful in helping you to get to your goal. So much nicer and easier. And here's a little clue. Here's a little hint for you. It's not that hard to do once you get used to it. And so we want to encourage you to consider 2 meals per day. Some people just eat 1 meal a day. They call it OMAD, 1 meal a day. And that's powerful as well. But I've never really gone to that. I'd rather just do a full all-day fast, 36-hour fast, than do the OMAD thing very often. I'm not going to say I've never done it, but I've rarely done that. But I do 36-hour fasts fairly often. And that's the one time where I will break the rule of not having breakfast. If I do a 36-hour fast and I haven't eaten since, say, Monday evening and now it's Wednesday morning, that's when I will have a breakfast. So consider cutting those 3 meals a day down to 2, and keep in mind that your window of eating should be around 6 hours, but that doesn't mean you're going to eat all throughout those 6 hours. It means you have a meal at the beginning of the 6-hour window. You wait until you get toward the end of the 6-hour meal, you have another 6-hour window, you have another meal. And if you need to have it a keto dessert, a low-carb dessert, then have it right on the heels of your final meal for the day. Don't wait. Don't have your final meal at 6 and then have your keto dessert at 9:30. That is wrong. But you see, normally what happens is with a 3-meal a day routine, you got breakfast time, blood sugar goes up, it starts to come back down. In a few hours, it's lunchtime, blood sugar goes up, begins to come back down. And then a few hours later, it's supper, blood sugar goes up, and begins to come back down. Now, if you throw in snacks, it's even worse. You're bouncing up and down, up and down, up and down all day long. But even if you're not doing the snacks, for 3 meals a day, you're going up and down. But if you do 2 meals a day and you just have Bulletproof coffee, which has next to no carbs to it, then you've got one less meal for the blood sugar to go up and down. Blood sugar is going to remain pretty steady throughout breakfast all the way up until lunch. And then you'll have the up and down and the up and down. But if it's low carb, it won't be too high up and you won't have to drop too far down. So consider it. 2 meals a day can be a powerful tool to go along with your low carb diet and can put you in good shape as you watch those glucose levels drop. And you may and your doctor may be very pleasantly surprised when you have your next A1C.